Hello guys, and today I'm going to wish Cpt Tom Moore a happy 100th birthday. Okay, now what's so special about this guy? Is it that he's 100 years old? Not entirely. You see, most of you have probably never heard of this guy, and to be completely honest with you, last year nobody had probably ever heard of him either. Okay, so who is he? Well, basically he's a war veteran, I believe from World War II, who took part in a charity walk. Okay, he basically decided to try and raise some money for the NHS. So over here there is a charity called NHS, just checking this a minute, NHS Charities Together, which supports lots of health charities in Britain. Okay, sometimes they are things where they may make things better for people in such a way that couldn't be justified out of taxpayers' money. For example, maybe making the hospitals look nicer, or providing a better life in some ways for some of the medical staff or the volunteers. Okay, I'm not an expert on it, I've tried to look into it, I don't fully understand it. Sometimes it also funds additional medical equipment and other things. So this is basically extra money that people choose to pay for out of the goodness of their hearts, so that the healthcare system is better than it is now. Okay, for those people who want to make the healthcare system better than it already is without burdening the taxpayer anymore. Okay, now Tom Moore wanted to help raise some money for the NHS to thank them for the work that they had done in saving him from some illnesses, okay, and other health problems. Okay, and he decided to do 100 laps of his garden to raise money for NHS Charities Together. Okay, and he originally aimed to make about £1,000. So his target was to try and raise £1,000 for the NHS charities. Okay, that's the healthcare charities to you. Okay, now he did this by going outside and filming himself on a walking frame as he tried to walk 100 times around his garden. At the time he was 99 years old, but his birthday would soon be 100. Okay, so he was doing this in preparation for his 100th birthday. Okay, now at the time many people saw this and were so impressed they decided to donate. Okay, and based on what he did, he has now raised over £31 million for the NHS. Okay, for NHS Charities Together. Okay, and he's become somewhat famous internationally, but perhaps not everybody will know him, but he's well known now in Britain. Okay, as well as that, but also some people wanted to thank him personally in other ways for what he did. Okay, so for example, one of our singers, Michael Ball, decided to do a duet with him and release a charity single with all the money going to NHS Charities Together. That single, featuring him singing, admittedly not very well, as well as Michael Ball, one of our famous singers, okay, is currently at #1 in the charts. Okay, this means he got to #1 in the charts aged 99. However, his birthday is this week, has been today. Okay, and the charts last for a week. Okay, so the official pop charts, this is the pop music charts I want to point out, last for a week. Okay, so he's currently still at #1 currently now. Okay, so he is the first person ever to be at #1 in the official pop singles chart. Okay, he was because he's still in the charts now. Okay, so the chart lasts a week, right? As well as that, he's also received private messages from the Prime Minister and other people. And also, because he is a war veteran, you can see there his war medals. Okay, I don't know if they were from the war or what they are, but I know they're military medals, okay? As well as that, the RAF, which is the Royal Air Force, which is our military air force, okay, organised a special flyby for him on his birthday, so he could watch some old planes be flown past his house, not like where I think he's in a nursing home, okay, but past his home, okay. So let's look more into it, okay. And these are from the BBC News website, okay.
Happy birthday, Captain Tom. Happy birthday to you.
And that guy on the right was the guy who sung with him on the charity single, which is #1 this week.
The Hurricane and Spitfire.
This is the planes. These are some old planes from the past, and these were Hurricane and Spitfire, which were used in World War II. Okay, but and this is them flying over his home. Okay. A custom here is that if you are if you ever reach 100 years old of age, okay, if you ever become 100 years old, you get a personal card from the Queen, okay, and everybody in this country gets one if they ever reach 100 years of age, okay. It's just a tradition over here, okay. But her letter is probably more personalised, perhaps, the one, because obviously they would have known about what he did.
I know.
And this is now a message to him from our British Prime Minister, okay?
I speak for the whole country when I say we wish you a very happy 100th birthday. Your heroic efforts have lifted the spirits of the entire nation. You've created a channel to enable millions to say a heartfelt thank you to the remarkable men and women in our NHS who are doing the most astounding job.
Absolutely. Well, it's hard to describe. There's been so much kindness shown, and so many people making kind remarks. It really is outstanding. I mean, I never ever anticipate ever in my life anything like this. It really is amazing. And I must say to everyone, thank you very much to everyone, wherever you are.
Look at this cake.
I'll show you, Captain Tom.
And
there
Hannah,
it is.
would you please lead the singing for Happy Birthday for us?
That's lovely, isn't it? Yes.
Are you ready? On three.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Captain Tom, Daddy, Grandpa. Happy birthday to you. Hey!
Okay, and I'm going to see if it shows. Again, there's another part of the flyby.
We could just hear them in the distance, can't we now? The rumble that we can hear is about to turn into a roar. Those distinctive Rolls-Royce Merlin engines. Now, you fly them, of course.
I do.
You also fly the Typhoon.
That's right. Very lucky I get to fly the new and the old.
What's it like? What are the big differences between the two?
Well, they share a lot of similar characteristics, and I can just see them coming over the tree line now. So Tom, if you just look straight ahead there.
Oh yes, you see them.
They're both utterly beautiful to fly, and I'll let everybody listen now to the lovely sound of the Hurricane and Spitfire. So they're going to be changing formation position now, John, as they position just behind us into an echelon position, so they'll be alongside each other to run through for a second pass.
Marvellous, isn't it?
Got the Hurricane flown by Squadron Leader Mark Liscombe and the Spitfire flown by Flight Lieutenant Andy Priest. 400 foot.
Yep.
Summer coming up, probably worth saying, maybe not as busy as you were hoping to be.
Absolutely, yeah.
And we talked briefly about the difference between flying the new and the old. What are they like to fly?
Utterly beautiful. I mean, they are quite tricky. I think Squadron Leader mentioned earlier that certainly on the ground they do require your full attention, but certainly once they're up, they are utterly delightful. A real pilot's aircraft, and I can see why they have the reputation they do.
Wow.
And here they come again.
It's so lovely to see Captain Tom waving as they fly overhead.
Really
they're going to come around again for a third pass. You have another aircraft that often flies with them. Tell us about that.
So we have a Lancaster as well, which only 2 flying in the world, so incredibly lucky, and being based in Lincolnshire, to have a Lancaster in the heart of Bomber County is something really special, and I know the whole of the UK public love seeing her during the summer.
Yeah, a fixture at air shows, aren't they, right across the UK in the summertime, and it's really when you come into your own. What does it take to keep them flying?
An incredible amount, and really we have a small team of 30 engineers who work tirelessly through the winter and the summer to keep these beautiful aircraft flying, so that we can show them in front of millions of people throughout the country over the summer months.
And one assumes they're a bit like Trigger's broom, are they?
A little bit like Trigger's broom. I have heard the analogy before, John, yes.
Okay. We are about to hear, we hope, a live special message for Captain Tom from one of the pilots. And there we go. That's them.
Wonderful. Thank you very much indeed.
Yeah, really, really wonderful to see. And as much as the sight of them is fantastic, the sound of them is fantastic too.
And I think both of them go beautifully hand in hand. The sight and the sound, there's nothing else quite like it. And Tom, from all of us in the Air Force, thank you very much indeed for everything you've done, and a very happy 100th birthday.
Thank you very much, yes.
Let's wander around then and just get a quick word.
There's one thing that I would say about them. I'm one of the few people here who've seen a Hurricane and Spitfires flying past in anger. Fortunately today they're all flying peacefully. That's one of the outstanding things. But I remember when they were flying not with peace but with anger.
Okay, and now let's see a message from the Prime Minister. I think you've already seen. Let's see if there's any others. Oh yes, and also thousands, probably millions, I don't know, of people sent in birthday cards, okay? And here you see all the birthday cards that were sent to him. And they put them in a school that his grandson attends, okay? And they've also put up a special post box in honour of him. There's other things. I'm trying to see if I can see where it shows you him actually walking. Okay, I'll have to go elsewhere for that, so wait a moment, don't go away. Actually, before I do, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to the NHS Charities Together website, and here you can see it tells you about NHS Charities Direct. It says collectively these charities give £1 million every day to the NHS so that people can stay well for longer and get better faster. In recent years, NHS Charities, NHS is National Health Service, okay, have funded major capital projects, pioneering research and medical equipment at our hospitals, helping patients access the best possible care when they need it most. They also play a key role in mobilising volunteers to support NHS staff, brightening wards and waiting areas with colourful and engaging art, and building an important link between our hospitals and our communities. Other NHS charities support mental health trusts, community health trusts and ambulance trusts. These vital funds and services are above and beyond what the NHS alone can provide, touching lives and making a huge difference to people when they are at their most vulnerable. Okay, so that's a summary. Okay, I think there's some other information, but this is mostly just specific. Okay, most of it is just generally waffle. Okay, but I've given you the summary there. Okay, right, now I'm going to try and find more about him. Okay, so don't go away.
I can say good afternoon to Captain.
Okay, this is a special bulletin on the official chart show. Okay, this is the official chart show, is the official chart show which is hosted by the BBC and reveals the chart of the top 40 best-selling or streamed songs in Britain. Okay, in the past it always used to be just those that were bought and based entirely on sales volume, but in more recent times they've included streaming into the charts as well.
Tom Moore, hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. I just need to say congratulations because you are the UK's official #1.
That really is truly amazing, isn't it?
I mean, it's a long list of achievements, right? And this is the latest.
I think it's amazing that this should happen to me.
I saw that The Weeknd actually tweeted last night, with hours to go for the #1 race, saying that people should support your song instead.
And I just want to say on behalf of all of us that what an amazing gesture from them. We are so grateful and we give our sincere thanks because look what's happened, and thank you to the public.
That was very, very kind of him indeed.
Now, obviously, all the money from what you've done so far and the money for the single goes to the people that need it the most. And I know, Captain Tom, you feel so passionately about the NHS.
That's true, yes, I certainly do, because they've done so well for me over the years, and I think they're doing such a magnificent job at the moment under very difficult circumstances. I think we still need to give them the very best support that we possibly can.
What advice can you give to people that are a little bit worried at the moment in the current circumstances?
I think we've got to accept that what is going on at the moment is very serious and is very extensive. But I think we must also remember that things will get better there's no doubt there will be one day when things get better, and rather as the song which we're talking about, when the sun will shine again, and then we will never ever walk alone.
Also, this is another world record because the oldest person in the world to ever be number one.
That's absolutely hard to say what it is, because
So funny.
it really is.
I mean,
That's a special something, isn't it?
I think I can speak for everybody, Captain Tom. You have been an absolute shining light of hope in the darkest of times.
Thank you very much indeed for saying that, because I don't feel that I'm a special person. I'm just part of what is going on at the present time, which is very, very difficult. But as I said before, eventually things will get better and the sun will shine again.
I can't believe I'm saying this. I'm getting quite emotional. Congratulations. The UK's official number one is Michael Ball and Captain Tom Moore with You'll Never Walk Alone.
Okay, this was the moment when he'd completed his 100th lap of where he lives, okay? As I said, originally he only intended to try and raise £1,000 for the NHS. However, he has raised over £31 million, which have been received from donations for him doing this. There is no sound.